Hey guys, how's it going? It's the Crypto Analyst here, and I hope all of you guys are having a good morning, evening, wherever you guys are from, and welcome back to another Bitcoin technical analysis. And Bitcoin is getting ready for a very large move, and I'm going to be breaking it down today, discussing about where I think it's going to be going, my targets, and why it's going to be happening. So if you guys are interested, go and stick around for the video, and do not forget to hit the like and subscribe button, as it does help out the channel a lot. But with that being said, let's go ahead and break this down. Now, with Bitcoin really falling in these recent hours, what this does is it creates a little bit of a problematic situation for Bitcoin, because now that it's holding this pretty long-term support that it's had over here around the 50 EMA, now that it's holding this area, it really only gives us two options from here, and that is to either break out towards the top of this channel or break down if we do actually break the support line of this channel. And so immediately I'm looking at longer-term supports and longer-term resistance to say, all right, well, if we do break these areas, where are we likely to head to? And I think that two numbers really stand out to me. And obviously this is the long-term support down over here, and this is the long-term resistance up in this area. So we are currently in an ascending broadening wedge, which is a bearish formation and continuation pattern. And if we are to round out from here, again, it would just make sense that we go to the top of this. And it might not be quite as parabolic as I'm drawing it, but you guys get the general principle, in that if we do go bounce from here, we will probably head up to resistance in this area. Now, this resistance is not only the top of the ascending broadening wedge resistance, but this is also the top of this ascending triangle resistance as well. And if we look at this on the 1 day, it's a little bit more clear. So if we look at this from the 1 day, you can see that if we are to bounce from here, there really are only two areas of targets. And yes, you do have consolidation areas in areas like this, or that's a little broad, probably a little bit more like this, and previous lows as well. However, I think there are really just two main overall overbearing targets. And I think it's a little bit of a coincidence that you do have the top of the ascending broadening wedge forming with the top of the ascending triangle resistance. And if this is going to be a move to the upside, it would probably be about a $320 move if it does want to touch the top of this resistance this way. Breaking this down back onto the 4 hour, I can go ahead and show that a move downwards would be from $3,806 probably to somewhere around $3,565. So you're looking at about a $300 move in either direction, either to the upside or the downside. And if you're on something like 10x leverage on Bitcoin, that's roughly probably about 75% potential gain in either way that this does go. So if you're longing this and this does break out towards the upside, it would look at probably about a 75% gain from bottom to top over here, and the same thing if you're shorting from current to bottom. And with these overall targets, this gets a little bit confusing, because looking at the things like the MACD and the RSI and our EMAs and all, this originally was looking kind of good. It was looking like you were losing levels of negative momentum on your MACD. However, I was very skeptical because of the situation that we were in and just the way that the candle chart was looking. I was talking to someone in Discord about this earlier, because they were like, hey, well, what do you think about this? What are your overall thoughts on Bitcoin and the crypto market right now? I said, well, it's in a weird position because your indicators are looking kind of bullish on the 4 hour, but your candle charts just look very bearish. And overall, very shortly after I said that, this actually broke towards the downside. This is now contradicted, and really, now that this is setting lower lows, this whole thing is now very, very bearish. Over here, looking at this on the RSI, this is something that I've been talking about a lot recently. Lower highs consistently upon swings over here was very evident, and a very bearish sign that this was actually going to and really wanted to break towards the downside now. So here you've had your legs down, and now we're actually at a very, very oversold point, because we are previously lower, or about, I think we're actually pushing down as we talk. Pushing down to a lower low on our RSI. And so this is pretty significant, because what this allows us to do is to not have consistent higher swing lows like we have over here in these three areas. And if we actually break down below this, this breaks that trend. Not to say that it's just all and over, but it's not a good thing to see. And as we can tell from over here, we can obviously go much lower, because right now we're only around the 24.6, and we've seen in the past that we've gone much lower, all the way to things like 5.9 and even lower than that before. So there is a little bit of time for people to kind of look at this, get their own opinion, formulate their game plan. But I think you are preparing for a very massive move, because if you hold support, you're looking again probably at a $300 move towards the upside. But if you break support, this could get pretty ugly pretty fast. As I did mention before, you do have resistance in this area, previous candle body tops and bottoms, signifying that there is a lot of consolidation support in this area. You really can kind of look at previous bottoms as well. I don't know how strong those are going to be, to be honest. I think that this area is going to really be your main support. If you don't hold this area, I think you're heading down. Well, I guess this area is kind of in sync with this area, so if we just kind of draw this much like that, then it would make sense that we stop somewhere around here. So overall, this is a risky area. Everything's very oversold. Your RSI, again, it is very low. It's showing no sign of rounding for the current moment, but you are at least holding this 50 EMA and this support line over here. If you can hold this and you can keep this, then again, it's going to look like a very bullish scenario. And if you, again, can hold this and you can test that upper resistance again on this ascending triangle, I think things are going to be looking very, very good for Bitcoin. If you break this, things are not going to be looking good at all for the short term. And then again, as long as it holds this relative support level over here at around $3,575, I would imagine, and I personally believe that there's going to be a bounce if it does break down here. And I think that this would be my ultimate buying opportunity before this ascending triangle does break out. So lots of opportunity in this area towards the upside and the downside for the people who want to long, for the people who want to short. Be watching this market closely, make your own decisions. Nothing I said was financial, legal, or tax advice in any way, but just keep an eye on this market if you are a trader, because there is a lot of potential to be made either to the upside or to the downside, and there's pretty hard evidence for both of those cases. So really it's going to be just a waiting game at this point. You're going to have to look at these charts, you're going to have to draw up these lines, you're going to have to say, all right, well, are we going to hold support or are we not? And that's going to be the ultimate question for whether this wants to break out or break down. So that's pretty much going to round out this video. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you guys did, do not forget to hit the like and subscribe button, as it does help out the channel a lot. With that being said, guys, I want to know your guys' thoughts on this in the comment section below. Are we going up to higher highs, or are we breaking down to a potential lower low, or just even a lower price breakdown? I want to know your guys' thoughts in the comment section below. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.